Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Spiritual Lost Diaries. Today, we're going to be talking about the law of karma. And I love this law because the way I perceive it is pretty distinct and detailed, but it uses the same principles of this law. Firstly, let's completely remove this big misinterpretation of karma is revenge. No, it is the universe rebalancing and mirroring the frequency you are in. Because again, karma is like a boomerang, it's energy exchange. And as we know, cause and effect in this dimension, it is when you do something, something else happens, a consequence. If you know me and you've seen videos before or comments, I have said that I believe in retrocausality. So you'd be like, but that's kind of contradicting. But it still makes sense. Firstly, what is karma? What karma actually is? A word which in Sanskrit means action. So every time there's karma, there's been an action, a consequence. It's not a punishment, it's not the universe keeping tabs on you. That energy is going in cycles. Whatever you give, you receive. You give, you receive, you give, you receive, and what you give matters. This is where it gets tricky. If you keep putting out negative energy, if you keep sending out judgment in the air, harm, that will come back to you. So people will think you're being punished, but no. You give out that frequency will match back onto you, which matches a lot of the other principles and laws I have talked about before. Where it gets trickier is that it will come back in a different form. Could be the same, could be way different. Either way, you will give out some type of harm. It will come back to you in another way. Mental, physical, who knows? That is up to the energy rebalance. And if you put out kindness, generosity, love, that will come back to you as well. Which is why when you do a random act of kindness, you know you'll have so much good come back to you in some way. But either way, it'll be good because you're operating in that frequency. That is the universal law of reciprocity, where I want to give out my personal view on this, thanks to some books I've read. It links with a concept I've always believed in, and that's reincarnation, but I never had the words put into what is being reincarnated. So let's dive into karmic lessons and soul contracts. We are talking about the karmic cycles of life and the soul. In my perspective, I think when your soul reincarnates in whatever dimension, could be this physical earth dimension, your soul will learn lessons. It will kind of learn lessons by however this dimension uses energy so that your soul can learn very deep lessons. A lot of spiritual traditions believe that karma travels along lifetimes. So the most important people in your life that had such a big impact on you are here to teach you a karmic lesson. The ones that really trigger you the most, that makes you think deeper and makes you elevate in some way or boosts your soul into that direction. I'd call that soul contracts. Agreements that were made before you were born to help each other out. And this is why I also say that we have soul groups in this world and why it's important not to feel alone, because your soul has groups and those are the ones that will understand you the most, that are here to help you out the most. And that's why in the spiritual world, you are not alone. So think of it this way: the toxic ex, toxic parents, toxic friends, all of these people, they were just reflecting back something that you might need to heal from, or just a very deep lesson. And even if it wasn't instant, it can help plant that seed, that karmic seed that will help your soul grow. And it's also important that when there's such a big event, it is probably because that boost was breaking a karmic cycle that could have been stagnating for multiple lifetimes. This is why a lot of people who stagnate and are not learning their karmic lesson repeat toxic patterns. They stay in harmful situations because they have not yet learned the lesson. They don't do the inner work, they don't do the healing that is necessary for your soul to grow and to become a better person. Once the lesson is learned, the karmic tie is complete. It's done. Sometimes the hardest people in your life are your greatest teachers, but not because they're good, but because they teach you the most important lesson your soul needed. Because they're showing you exactly what you need to heal, release, or forgive. This is where your mindset is actually going to improve, because you're not seeing these people as villains, or you're not seeing yourself just as a victim. You're just seeing two souls on such a soul deep level helping each other out. I'm not gonna lie though, this dimension is really hard, that this world, your soul decides to come into this world to learn a very important lesson that has been very difficult for your soul to learn. And this is the hardest way, but the most effective way your soul can learn whatever lesson it needed. Here's an important thing to remember. It is not instant, but it is inevitable. The misconception is you think, oh, this person did something wrong, karma's gonna get to them, and then you wait a week and you're like, how can they just do anything and not get their lesson learned? But the important thing to remind yourself, the karma will hit. I've said this before in a short. I know that I'm divinely protected and that the frequency they gave to me is going to reflect back to them in some way. It could be years. It could be instant as well. And then people will think karma isn't real, because once you go and heal and be on your own, you don't see how their life and their soul is taking lessons. So someone did something bad to you, but karma doesn't necessarily have to come in your lifetime, on your lifetime. Whatever happens to them, it can be an instant, years, another lifetime. But it is not up to you. You just have to trust in the universe. It will balance out. That frequency they operate on will come back towards them. That karmic cycle, that karmic tie towards whatever they've done and whatever they need to learn on their soul's journey will happen. Another important key here is that sometimes it will show up in ways you don't even realize are connected. Here's where you become way more empowered learning this law, is that you create your own karma, which means every action you take has a purpose, has some sort of energy it puts out. It sends a certain frequency, which is why when I talk about manifesting, I talk about law of attraction, all of these laws, they all connect to this point. You create your own reality because of whatever frequency you decide to be on, whatever action you decide to take. Because every thought, every word, every action, they all plant seeds. And those seeds will grow and will be shown in your future experiences. This is why, to go back to me believing in retrocausality, because I think in this spiritual lens, you kind of realize how everything's connected for your soul. That world, there's not really that concept of time, because this concept of time is a human-made concept. So obviously, when we think of energy exchange, we think cause and effect. Let's say you keep complaining, you keep planting seeds of dissatisfaction. If you keep gossiping, you're planting seeds of distrust, betrayals. So if you're planting seeds of love, generosity, ambition, integrity, kindness, you're planting seeds of abundance, peace. To go deeper about karma, you have to realize that karma isn't just about others, it is also karma towards yourself. How you treat yourself is extremely important. If you're always negative towards yourself, if you're always judging yourself, that will create karmic consequences. You can't be cruel to yourself and expect your life to just feel loving. If you lie to yourself, abandon yourself, betray yourself, that goes against your morals and your values, that energy will not just disappear. It will create internal karma that shows up as guilt, shame, and self-sabotage. The way you treat yourself is just as important as the way you treat others, because that energy, it will all come back either way. From everything I told you, here's how you can use this law, how you can work with this law to your advantage and to grow. 1, you need to be intentional with what you're putting out, the energy you're giving out. And a lot of times, if you feel like you're reactive over something, you can choose how you're going to manage that energy. Before you speak, before you act on something, you need to ask yourself, is this the energy I want to receive back? Because if you do, and you put out that energy, it will come back. Number 2, try to figure out the lesson of whatever happened. Look for the lesson in whatever difficult relationship you were in or are in. If this person keeps triggering you, ask yourself, what is it that's triggering me? What emotion do they keep bringing up? And what patterns am I repeating in this relationship that I need to heal from? Number 3, and that's going to be hard for a lot of people, and that's you need to take responsibility of your actions, especially of the past. And it's fine to not see it initially, but as long as you reflect reflect on yourself, reflect on the actions, your decisions that you've taken before. If you see if you really hurt someone, that taking responsibility, although it can hurt and be hard to accept, it is such an important thing to grow. Because if you keep denying it, that reality will try to show up. The karma will show you back that energy of hurt, will try to make you understand that you have hurt this person in this way and it wasn't fair. A lot of people try to deny it. In my personal experience, I haven't gotten apologies from a lot of people because they couldn't accept that what they did just hurt me. And I accept that they can't realize that, but sometimes the truth is hard for people to accept, and they just try to stay in the illusion that they're a great person and that they're a victim. Which is why when people victimizes themselves a lot, although I'm empathetic, I don't feel empathy for them, or I know if it's not true, because there's two sides to every story and it's good to take accountability. I have more respect for that than someone blaming everything on everyone else. Number 4, and that's to stop trying to get karma to get the person that hurt you. Don't wait for karma to hit. You know, you trust, and you believe universe will do its job. It's not up to you. You have to continue on your life, work on your journey, whoever else's journey. It is not up to you how their life goes. You just have to trust it happened for your soul and their soul to grow. If you obsess over someone's karma, over someone's injustice, you're just going to create more negative karma towards yourself. Number 5, try to create good karma consciously, even when no one's watching. Change your thought patterns. Change your bad habits, your bad routines. Change the people you're with. If they're bad, bringing you down, encouraging bad behavior towards yourself, you have to remove all of that. But that is if you did number 3, take accountability. No one is forcing you to be the way you are. Only you. This law is genuinely a big deal to me because I always believed this mindset. I always believe karma is real, but it's not in the way people think. And it's definitely not just about punishing someone. It is about learning lessons. It is reciprocity. You're going to give out something, it's going to come back to you. This means you can change your reality and become a better person on your own. And whether it's in this lifetime or not, you can't push someone to be on the same journey you're on or to learn the lessons you have learned. People are going to learn, whether it's now, in years, in lifetimes. Just find your soul group. Cut people who are no longer meant to be on your journey, who are no longer here to teach you lessons and you've grown. They're just not meant to be on your path anymore. Find the people who are meant to be on your new path, this new elevated version of yourself. You have control. You have the ultimate control of everything you want to be. Plant your seeds wisely. If you truly enjoyed this video, please let me know by liking and subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.